Hello, everyone. My name is Jill M. Jackson, and welcome to the Solstice Gateway Summit Insights and Inspirations for 2026. And I am beyond excited to have one of my friends, soul sisters, and amazing colleagues, Sally Rice, with us as part of the expert speakers for the summit. So, Sally is originally from California. She was born actually a psychic medium, and her memories of spirit communication began at only 6 months of age. Sally Rice began studying astrology and providing psychic readings when she was 12 years old. At 19, she moved to Italy, where she lived for the next 11 years, completing university studies in art history and working as an international tour manager, guiding academic study groups throughout Europe, Africa, and Asia. Once Sally was back in the USA, she spent 2 decades as a successful costume designer, working for the motion picture industry. At 50, Sally returned to college to obtain another degree, this time in visual journalism and photography. Sally then transferred out of the film industry and became a successful news writer and photographer for newspapers and magazines in California. When a life changing event led to her awakening, she left the United States in 2011 and spent the next 5 years studying the ways of the shaman while living in the deep jungles of Central and South America. During this period, Sally Rice spent extended time in Peru working with shamans as well as with John of God in Brazil. Sally also studied trance mediumship at the Arthur Findlay College of Spiritualism in the UK. Sally Rice has been devoted exclusively to her spiritual path and practice since 2010, working as a psychic medium and writer. Sally is currently based in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. Welcome to the summit, Sally.
Oh, Jill, it is such an honor and pleasure to be with you. You are my dearest friend. Certainly, our connection as psychic mediums has made us the bond beyond sisterhood. I can't quite find the right word to describe our connection, but it's quite magical. And I'm honored that you included me in this very important group of seers and healers for our planet right now. Thank you. It's an honor to
Yes,
be.
and visionaries. I feel that our connection in a lot of ways is otherworldly because there's
Yes,
just so many synchronicities that cannot be explained.
truly, truly.
Now, I want to take a few minutes, Sally, and for those who may not be familiar with your work, will you talk a little bit about your background? And let's go all the way back to when you first remember your gifts and what led you to finally step fully onto this path.
Yes, that is a deep question. And I also appreciate your elaborating on that past, which when you talk about me and what I don't even know that girl, but somehow she did all those things. But I hold on to my earliest memory of life in this incarnation as being my awareness of my mother having forgotten that we are eternal souls. Because when I came here at 6 months old, I remember watching my mother come down the staircase. I was sitting in diapers on the wooden floor, and I had full memory of past lives, full memory of what we call the life between lives, and coming in and making the soul contract to be born as a female. And I was grossly involved in that thought projection of what I was going to be doing with my mother in the incarnation when I saw her come down, and I realized, oh my goodness, she fell asleep and she doesn't remember. And I was tragically distraught at that moment. Like, what happened to my mom? Like, she doesn't know that we are eternal souls. That was my first memory.
At
And
6 months old. At
6 months. Yeah. Well, I can only guess at 6 months because I
yeah,
couldn't walk. I could
right.
barely, but I couldn't move. And there was no need to put me in a pen. So, because I was 6 months, maybe 7, maybe.
Yeah.
But my parents were they were hardcore atheists. and there was no such thing as God. Not only was there no such thing as God, but my mother's favorite expression was rolling her eyes and going, "Oh, those people of faith," as if it was really a derogatory statement. She did not appreciate it. So I learned very quickly to button it up. But I was very vocal about seeing spirits. I always saw ghost energies, my guardian angels. It was a full house. And
Yeah.
I just thought that was normal for everybody. And I learned at about 6 years old that it was very bad and I shouldn't talk about it and something was wrong. My mother actually literally picked me up and drove me to the local church, which is sort of counterintuitive since she's an atheist. But she
Right.
says, I can't do anything with her. She keeps talking about ghosts. Do something. And she left me for like the day and to talk to the priest and maybe we could determine whether she's crazy or not, kind of. So that was the beginning. And then I tried to do like those other careers, being academic, and I pushed it under and I did it on the side. I'm doing it secretly when I was working as a costume designer. Everybody's asking me for readings and we're doing it on the down low. But at a certain point, like in 2012, there was nothing to be done. It was like spirit just came and said, no, that's what we're doing. Away we went. And I just had to do the work. They even said that I was in Costa Rica for 2 weeks. I had no intention of staying here. I was just visiting, Jill. I don't like the jungle. Not my style. I like London, Paris, and Rome, right? No,
Right.
I brought a suits. Not this. I kept 10 days, stayed, never left. Okay. But when I came to Costa Rica and I was walking through the jungle and I said, I got to get out of here, get back to LA. I said it out. I got to get out of here. This is weird. Spirit literally, as they always do in my left ear, you're not leaving. You're staying here to do the work. I'm like, I didn't know what the work was. But anyway, apparently this is the work. So that's it in a nutshell.
And
How we got.
isn't it about that time period that you dove headfirst into studying with the shamans in
Yes.
Peru
Yes.
and all over South America and
Yes.
Central America?
I lost all sort of free will to say no to spirit. And now I just do what I'm told. And the more I do what I'm told from spirit, the more I just let them tell me where to go, lead me, the more wonderful life becomes. I
Yeah.
can't enough.
So let's talk about that a minute, Sally, for those summit participants who may just be starting on their own spiritual journey. Maybe they're just starting to awaken to, okay, maybe all we were taught is not the truth. What would you say to them about getting to the level of full trust and surrender like you have over the years with your spirit guides? What would you say to somebody who's maybe wanting to open up to that level of trust? Where would they start?
Okay. Okay. And this is kind of a hard question for me, only because I don't know what it is to live without spirit. I don't know a life on this planet where I haven't seen and connected with God. It's all I know. I would say, and I've been giving it a lot of thought, like, how could I help somebody who doesn't know what we're talking about get there really fast? And I studied, and I have the easiest, quick 1, 2, 3 way that I guarantee if people do this, they will not only connect with their spirit guides, it almost makes me cry, but they will manifest their hopes and dreams. Okay. And it's a 1, 2, 3 thing.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome.
What really helps is getting older, because especially if you're female, because when you go into menopause, boy, oh boy, watch out, ladies. Your powers are going to activate and you don't even know what's going to hit you. Woo! Hold on to your head. So it's really good. That helps getting older. But the thing is that what also accompanies that process is defining who you are, knowing who you are. Let's start with the inside job. Let's start right here. Who am I? What do I believe in? I know I've been told this and that and been doing this and that, but let's throw all that aside. Who am I? Okay, I am A, B, and C. So I'm going to know who I am, and I'm going to start in the heart. Heart, higher self, higher self. Think of an inverted triangle with the apex being the heart space. So heart, higher self. The heart is command, central, connected to your soul contract, connected to God, connected to your Akashic records, connected to the true you. This is the key. start here. Now I'm going to take everything that I am, everything that I know myself to be. And by the way, we can only find out who we are when we see who we are not. So all those hard relationships and hard situations, yay, taught me who I am. Okay, so now I know who I am. And now I've got a brain, lower self, earth walker. Okay. And the lower self needs to listen to the heart, the higher self. So when I create thoughts, my thoughts are going to be 100% reflecting my feelings. My feelings are my truth. And then I'm going to make my thoughts match them. So every thought that is in my brain matches my feeling. Then I have my words. The words are going to come out of my mouth. The words, Holy Ghost, Father, God, Son, Earth Walker, Holy Ghost, the words that are invisible but reflect the energy of that. That is your golden ratio. That is your sacred geometry, which is your flower of life, that sacred equilateral triangle, which is all equal because my feelings, my thoughts, and my words, they all match. When you live like that, God is inside exploding with joy. And not only do you live with God and watch God answer, and all your guides just show up to go, yes, he got it, or he got it finally, but your manifestation powers are through the roof because you manifest when that is all in sync.
That is profound, Sally. And for someone who said
Amazing.
you were going to have difficulty with this question, that was just that was channeled information. I have chills, and it was just powerful. And wow, thank you for
But I
sharing
guarantee
that.
it works. I mean, it really does. It's
Really,
really hard because people think that their thoughts act independently. No, 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 no. Delete, delete. 80% of your thoughts when you start doing this will be tracked. But you take charge. Don't let your thoughts drive the vehicle. You're the soul, the higher self, earth walker. I'm not letting go of that steering wheel. I'm not letting my brain take charge of anything because it doesn't know where it's going or what it's doing. The brain can't know the future. It knows what happened yesterday and it knows where your keys are, but it doesn't know what you're supposed to do with your life. That's in your heart. So don't listen to fear, worry, and doubt because that's coming from the monkey mind that doesn't know jack.
yes. And so, over that period of practicing that, that's how someone is able to get to the level of trust and surrender where they understand that if they listen to God, creator, higher self, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, then our life flows in such beautiful and effortless ways. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Bingo.
Mhm.
That's exactly right. And incorporating all, you're right, Jill, the ancestors and everyone joins because then there's this cooperation. You are integrated into the true nature of your divine self because you allow it, you
Yes.
see. So then the magic happens. It's not like, oh, I want to be psychic or I want to do this and what do I need to do? No, no, no. Just align and then watch it magically happen.
Profound. Thank you for that. Thank you for those tips. I want to switch gears a little bit and dive into what your feelings are around the energy of 2026. I know you're a very gifted seer in being able to see potential timelines and energy. Can you share with us what you're feeling that 2026 looks like right now energetically?
Okay. Well, first of all, everyone should be really, really excited. Okay. In the sense that we are truly in the metamorphosis, the awakening of divine powers, the divine transformation of this planet, all of these systems that are breaking away and washing away that don't work anymore, and the what is being born through then the phoenix rising through the ashes. It's a very tumultuous time, yes, but very exciting as well. And we have to, number one, moving forward, everyone with a pulse needs to remind themselves that we chose to be here. We said, "Ooh, I know, let's go." Okay, so if we all signed up for this, we need to take responsibility for making that choice. Now, We all know that things are very chaotic in the world and things are going up and things are going down, and we hope we're land face up. And here's where we go back to that golden triangle again. You will be called, every one of us, whether we like it or not, kicking and screaming, we are going to be called to be our authentic selves. We have to, in this transformation, we are going to be forced by the events, and everybody's going to have different events affecting them. We are all as unique as our fingerprint and our soul story unfolding. So, don't, for goodness sakes, don't compare yourself to others. This is not the time to do that because we are literally exploding into who we really are. So, the path is going to be bright for some and challenging for others. But the way we manifest our hopes and dreams and make sure that we're on our desired trajectory is by being our authentic selves. That means we really need to stand up to what our truth is. And if it's not our truth, we need to walk away. You see, however we do. And the other thing I wanted to mention about this time, which is this is a difficult question again, but it is because one of my also earliest memories, I was 4 years old, driving to Thanksgiving from Los Angeles, La Cañada, California, to Redlands, where we were going to have Thanksgiving dinner with Aunt Margaret and her family. And I remember driving through Redlands and look 4 years old distinctively, and I'm like, nope, no, 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 no. This is something's wrong here. Gotta leave. I was not supposed to be born here. And I started talking about 2025. As a young girl, I got 2025 my entire life. There were markers about 2025 for me that started when I was 4 years old. So then when Spirit told me when I got to Costa Rica, and they said, you're here to do the work. They also said, you will be safe here. So for some reason, I was put in Costa Rica for my safety. Okay. Whatever that is. But the other thing is that I also saw 2025 being projected in the Great Pyramid of Egypt when I was a tour guide there. I was 22 years old. So when I was 22, I was shown 2025, 2025, and 2026. Watch out. Okay. I also wrote about it in my book that I published in 2009. So this year, 2025 and 2026 has for me always been a marker year. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what that means for me in 2026, but I know it's big. I know
Yes.
it's big. I know it's big for everybody. So what do we do going forward? Because there are multiple trajectories we could jump in. I feel like we're at Disneyland and there's all these rides. I want to make sure I get on the ride that's right for me. And everybody's story is going to be different. Everybody should pay attention to their calling, what Spirit is telling them, and follow that. And if Spirit is saying doing nothing, then do nothing. You see, to just be open and available, but know it's a time of profound opportunity for people to truly express themselves in their authentic way, to do the work they came to do. Because we didn't come here to fool around. We came here to do something.
Yes. That's
So
beautiful. Great advice, Sally. And I want to revisit the energy of authenticity. Someone was saying to me recently that in the scales of consciousness, the upper levels, we have the unity and the love and the joy and the peace. But the highest version of consciousness is authentic truth. And I feel that you're spot on with this prediction and this prophecy around this energy that humanity is at a crossroads. And through free will, people can choose not to step into their authentic truth and get on that ride, as you were talking about a few minutes later, and bless them on what that ride entails.
happy trails.
Yes. Or choosing courage over comfort in standing and speaking our truth. And many times, as you and I both understand, Sally, is when we do that, sometimes there's losses of relationships and jobs and living situations because sometimes people who have chosen not to stand in their truth get very uncomfortable in that energy. So, what would
Yes.
you say to those who are here as part of this summit who may be either experiencing that now or maybe stepping into that energy? What would be your advice to them as they walk the path of authenticity?
Oh, please don't do it alone. First of all, it's an oxymoron because the journey of spiritual awakening is a solo job. We do it alone. We awaken by ourselves. However, oh my goodness, I am grateful and say a prayer to Jill every day because I get the opportunity to talk to you and share the events that are going on and have a camaraderie and an understanding of this process, this evolution. Because finding your tribe, finding the people that you resonate with is so important. So important. We have to evolve by ourselves, but we must have our communities to share our highs and our lows because it's going to be hard. This is Earth School. Earth School is hard. It's intentionally hard. We chose hard. So to get us through this especially difficult chapter, really reach out, find your people. I live in a different country, but boy, you got Zoom, you got WhatsApp, you can communicate, you can find your people all over the world and just stick together and educate yourself. Read, learn, don't shut down, don't go down your own rabbit hole of because it can be overwhelming and you can kind of go, okay, everybody just go away. I can't take it anymore. But that's not what we do. We need to stand up, put our big boots on, and know that this is our calling, literally.
Yes. And like you said, we all agreed to be here during not only the revolutionary times, but the evolutionary times that we are witnessing right now.
Just happen at the same time.
This has just been amazing, Sally. Thank you for sharing all of that. Will you tell our participants about your free gift that you are offering to everyone that is part of this amazing summit?
Yes, yes. Now, one I've already delivered to you, and if we can do it to make it, people have a choice, because not
Yes.
everyone want that first gift. But the first one, only because I just recently had a grandchild, and I won't be able to see this grandchild in another country. So I made a collection of lullabies for babies big and small that I coded and did shamanic work in the making of these lullabies, which produced and sung by me. I performed them and it's a cappella, so there's no instruments, but I infused the music with sleep medicine. So I am really sure that the music will put you to sleep.
I feel the energy of this.
But that's one gift
Mm.
that is an option if people want. It's about 25 minutes. And then the other one is reading a chapter from my book that's being published now. I've just finished it and it's 24 stories, true stories of my personal experiences with ghosts, spirits, miracles, the things that go bump in the night. So I'm going to read a chapter there, and then you can choose whether you want to hear a chapter from a book of stories or you want to be lullabied to sleep.
Wow. Those are
And then also
amazing.
an 11% discount on anyone who signs up for a reading with me that goes through to the end of January 2026.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. And
And
I
there's a,
know, in addition to you being an amazing psychic and amazing medium, you also help people with mentoring them as well. Is that correct?
yes, I do.
Yes. And
But
it's powerful. You have the energy to help people shift in such amazing
I do. But I
ways.
would say, actually, honestly, I would say, honestly, you are the goddess of all goddesses of mentoring and teaching people. You have the gift of that's God-given gift. I would say that's one of your strengths. More, I mean, like you're such an amazing teacher. And more than once you've told me how much you love it.
Yes. Well, thank you. That's
And
very kind of you.
and I wouldn't even compete with your skills as teaching.
Well, you're honestly, you are an amazing manifester. And I talk about you in my classes. And you help people get to that energy because manifesting is just getting to that frequency, and you're
Yes.
so gifted at that. How do people find you, Sally? What's the best way to find you?
My name's Sally Rice, psychic.com, and or agape, which means unconditional love in Greek, agape Costa Rica.com also. So,
Beautiful, beautiful.
or you can
Now,
come in
yes, yes, and you're
Rica.
considering having a retreat at some
Yes.
point. So
Yes.
let's just leave that into the ethers and
Yes.
let spirit do her magic. Now, we're stepping into the energy of the winter solstice. So, can you talk a few minutes and help our retreat participants understand what you feel about the winter solstice and maybe give them some tips on how to work best with this energy? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Okay. We instinctively, as nature spirits, and I'm really connected to Earth. I know you're the star seed, you fly through universes. I kind of stick to Mother Earth here, Pachamama. And we, as our ancestry, our history, as creatures of Pachamama, we worship nature. We worship the seasons. We worship the planets. Everything that is happening in nature is our God. It is God expressing itself. So the solstice, and when we have our winter solstice, the shortest day, and then our longest day, you guys really feel it, right? Because you're in the north and you get long days and everybody celebrates summer is here and blah, blah, blah. And short days, oh, it gets dark at 5 o'clock, all that business. Now we're going to do storytelling. And it's very spiritually moving in that way, just because you can watch the weather change and watch the seasons evolve and feel that energy. But where I am in Costa Rica, because we're right on top of the equator, we don't have any of that. So the days don't get longer or shorter, they're always the same. So we don't get to experience the fluctuations of the solstice.
Yeah.
But the way we're still energetically connected to Pachamama. So if during those times, and not only just the solstice, which is of course twice a year, but the full moon, the seasons, all of these expressions of the universal God, ineffable energy that's loving us and caring for us all, it's right at our fingertips. And we want to take advantage to respect these fluctuations each time they come. So I am always in practice with doing meditations with trees and talking to the trees and talking to the insects and doing ceremony, however you do it, with song or with saging and giving offerings. Any way you want to just show your love and gratitude to Pachamama, Mother Earth, and our celestial planets that are taking care of us, it's healthy. It's literally healing our soul. And more importantly, through the ceremony and through these moments of focusing on these events, we are then allowing our body to recalibrate nature, because we
Beautiful.
calibrate with nature unless this agrees with it. So everything goes back to that synchronicity. We have to be in alignment. What we're thinking about, oh, solstice, worshiping nature. Oh, shortest day of year. Oh, whatever. Then reminder, energy of God, thinking, recalibrates. It's how we tune our instrument.
Beautiful. I love that.
Our instruments.
Yes.
Last
Yes.
thing I want to tell you, because speaking of instruments, every night at sunset in the jungle, it doesn't matter what time of year, when the sun goes down, which is always at 5:30, okay, the insects in the jungle talk about a symphony. Oh my
Mhm.
God, it's electrifying. You can feel it. I know I am being tuned at sunset with these insects. I can feel it. If we just agree to let nature help us and be as connected as we can, certainly, but make it so that in your life you can incorporate as many visits with nature where you can make the alignment. But again, it all starts here.
I am just fascinated and blown away about the song of the insects because years ago, one of the channelings I did was encouraging us to pay attention and stay in tune with the bird song. And through the songs of the birds, that they are attuning our own frequency, realigning, helping us to remember. And now you're talking about the insects, which I've never had in my own awareness, but I will now. I
Oh my
will
God.
now.
Oh my God. The first time when I first moved to Costa Rica in 2011, I remember it was like 8 o'clock at night. It was late. And I thought, oh my God, who out there is being so rude at this hour to be running a table saw? Who is doing that? Who on earth would be running a table saw right now? The friggin' insects. I couldn't believe it. I have never heard. And after that, I'm like, okay, I'm hooked.
Wow.
Sold. Unsold. Tuning forks. Nature's healing instruments. Captain. Telling you.
It's Creator gave us everything we need. Everything we need.
Need.
However, like you said, we can set the intention to go to parks and to go to
Yes.
lakes and
Build
as
the garden.
much time as possible, yes, and connect with Mother Earth, Mama Gaia, Pachamama, whatever you resonate with her essence. Wow, Sally, this has just been so soul nourishing and incredible. And I just want to thank you so much. Do you have some final words of wisdom for our summit participants that you would like to leave them with?
Oh, this is my go-to. Okay. This is my go-to whenever a potential tragedy strikes. Most recently, when my dog went away and during a thunderstorm and I didn't see her for 6 hours and I thought she might be who knows what. Okay. So when you have a really challenging moment, remember this. Not only did you choose to be here and you wrote your story, but this lifetime, 1 second, one friggin' second in your soul's evolution. It's going to be over. This lifetime, kind of like a day. I can do anything for a day. I'm going to be fine because I also know, guaranteed, that as soon as I leave this incarnation, oh my God, I'm with all the people that I love and have loved, all my animals, all my best mates forever. It's going to be the most wonderful thing in the entire world. That I know. That's a guarantee. It's a guarantee that this lifetime is 1 second, one tiny minute in your life, soul's evolution. It's a guarantee that I chose here to be here. It's also a guarantee that as soon as I leave, I'm going to meet all the ones I love. That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. So therefore, that's what's real. So it doesn't really matter. So what you just like, hold on to that because that's the truth.
Yes, it's all perception and
Everything.
learning. Yeah, learning the energy around it and the gratitude in all moments. Because, like you said, not only did we choose this, we wrote the script and we grow the most through our challenges. That's just how this reality in this earth school works. We
Yeah.
evolve through the
Yes.
challenge.
One last thing
Yes,
that
please.
just told me because I know you work a lot with because both of us do. You know, people who are tragically wounded and grieving because they've lost their loved one. And they're so worried about how, if they suffered and if when they crossed over, were they in pain? And oh my God, but they were so sick. And oh, what did it hurt? Was dying. Death is friggin' awesome.
Yes.
Death is awesome. Not only that, there's no pain. If you're
Right.
in a car accident, your spirit knows that
Yes.
you're going to be in a car accident. So you leave your body before the impact. No, dying is not painful. Dying is easy.
It's simply a transformation, but I agree with you. And the thousands of readings that we have done, we always leave our physical bodies beforehand. Always. 100% of the time.
Always.
So that's great advice for all of us to remember and to hold on to. to know
'Cause it's
that,
it
yes.
is true.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It
Sally, I
is true.
just cannot thank you enough for sharing your wisdom with the Solstice Summit. And it was just
Thank you.
amazing. I felt the
You are
energy of it, and I honor you and I'm appreciative. And thank you to everyone who is tuning into this summit as well, because as I've said, when we join together collectively with our energy and put our intentions together, it ripples out to the cosmos and to the collective, and every bit helps. So thank you for everyone for tuning in as well, and much love and namaste. Thank you again.
Billy. Bill, thank you so much. I love you.
I love you.